Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Hopefully this won't fall because I want to do a video. Thought about a video that I wanted to do. I was trying to think of one to do. It's always about autism or mental health, but sometimes it'll be about other things. But I cut my bangs a little bit because I didn't like my high forehead. It just didn't look the best. Yes, it's the Welsh in me on my dad's side. But anyway, things have been going okay, up and down, but I'm trying to keep it up and pray more, read in the Word more, and just do that stuff, and to stay grounded. And as far as up here, but I want to do a video on autism and self-stimulatory behavior. It's pretty common in autism. It's self-stimulatory behavior, which is called stimming, as we call it, is a behavior, or I don't know if I like to call it behavior, but it's like a repetitive movement that will calm us down, or we will be doing it when we're excited. Some will rock, or as probably a lot of you know, a lot of people with autism will just rock, but not every one of us. Most of the time I don't, but sometimes I do. When I'm overstimulated or overwhelmed, or if it just feels good, I'll just kind of, yeah, that's my demonstration of my rocking. But I don't do it a lot, like I don't do it so, like, noticeably. I just never really did. But some people that have autism theirs is really noticeable, and then some people would either judge it, or they would maybe understand it more, so if they know more about autism. It depends. Especially these days, there's more awareness of autism, but unfortunately there's still that bullying and judgment and that sort of thing. And there's also many other stims, I call it stims as well, behaviors like that all of us on this autism spectrum will do. Right now I'm anxious and I'm moving my feet because it calms me down. That's wiggling it. That's kind of a stim. It's or a nervous habit. A nervous habit is more like it's a little different. I think all of us stim, even those that are not that don't have autism. We will do repetitive things. We'll twiddle our thumbs. That's more normal, I guess. I shouldn't say normal. Or we'll just kind of, here and there. Not a lot. But people with autism will do a lot more of that stuff. And it's more noticeable. And I have done definitely noticeable things. And when I was a kid, I did this very noticeable stim. I'm trying not to be embarrassed to talk about it. And yes, I'm going to demonstrate some stims. But I used to have these times where, especially I did it at home. I don't know if I did it at school. I think I did it when I was around comfortable places, like if I was in my room, for instance. And my sisters were in there and we were acting silly. And all of a sudden, I was just like, it just like the breathing, it just felt good. And I did that a lot. And I did that when I was younger. Like, I started doing it when I was 7, 8, 9. I don't know if I did 10 or... I went through phases of it. And I did that as a teenager. I did it for a few years as a teenager. And it just felt good, but it was noticeable. It was different. It was unique. And my sisters remember it. They said I did it a lot. And there are times I didn't realize I was doing it until my sister's like, Lorna, stop breathing so loud. I've been told that a lot as a kid. And so I didn't really think about why I did that stuff until I was like maybe in my early 20s. I asked my sister, why did I breathe so loud? And my sister's like, because this was before I was diagnosed. And my sister was like, oh, I don't know. And I just thought I was weird. I wasn't diagnosed until my late 20s, like 28, 27, and maybe 27 years old with autism. And I didn't pinpoint why I did it until I was like in my 30s, maybe late 30s, 40s. And it was just, I just kind of like thought I was just different, I guess. And I don't know, different, weird. I don't know. I thought it was just me, you know. But I'm just glad I have a diagnosis to understand why I did those things. And anyway, there's other things I've done. And what else? I don't know if this is considered a stim. It could be an excitement side of stimming, where I would just get excited about something, feel good about a task I've done. It's like an OCD thing. It's just like when things are set, predictable, like, oh, I've done. It's hard to explain. It's just like I have my own way of showing my excitement. And if I was like, it's hard. I would just get excited about something where probably most people wouldn't, but mine's just very mundane. It's like if let's name one thing. If I completed a task, I would get excited. I'd be like, yeah, relieved. And I would just start kind of like doing this. Yeah, I really want to do it now. Because it's just something that's exhilarating. Or just like, it just makes me feel just excited. It's like, or something. It's just like, I remember doing that when I was 7, 8 years old. There's times, I did it a lot when I was a teenager. As a kid, anyway. And I would just start doing this. You know. And I've seen not everyone with autism do that. I've seen some kids with autism do that. I've seen adults with autism do that. And they just cringe. It seems like it to me. But that's my reasoning why I did that stuff. It's just something around me got me excited, and I just was like, and I remember I would go like this, and I would get in trouble for doing that. They just thought I was weird. You know, my parents, they didn't know. They didn't know what autism was as much back then. They kind of suspected, my mom did suspect that I had, maybe had it. She kind of maybe possibly, she said when I was little, she said that she kind of suspected maybe. But I wasn't diagnosed. But, oh my gosh, there's other things. I remember as a teenager, I would get mesmerized and just really absorbed in the sound of the water in the bathroom. And this is when I was, it's just like it's a sensory thing. I would, go through phases of things that comforted me or relaxed me or get me absorbed and mesmerized. And the running of the water in the faucet would get me absorbed and relaxed. And I would just like make weird faces and I don't know. And just was like I was not aware of my body. And I would just rock back and forth. I would just flap my arm in the bathroom by myself. Oh, it was just something that got me away from the world, away from people. Yeah. And there's probably other stuff. It's just that was a few of my stims. And I remember like other times I like brushing my hair. I do it repeatedly throughout the day. It's just something that really soothed me. And let's see what else. I'm just talking about my stims right now in this video, but I just want to let others know what it is like to live with autism in that way as well. And yeah, I just remember standing in line at school, and I would rock whole body rock. It was kind of like I wanted to keep that rhythm going. Okay, let's keep the line going, because I didn't like standing there waiting, I guess. I don't know. And when the line, because we would get in line as students, and when us as a line would stop, I would just like, yeah. It's just, and then I would like, my feet would be like this. I'd be like, my feet would just, yeah. I had a lot of movements. And sometimes I'll just kind of, or just, I had certain movements that just soothed me, I guess. And it was, as a kid, all these things I've had was quite a bit often, and that, people thought I was weird and different, and they try to keep me from doing it. I do want to give advice. Not that it's bad to stim, but I just rock slightly when I'm in public and I'm sitting down, waiting for something in the waiting room. Because it helps me, it calms me down. But if I did it so like this, people would stare at me. It's a good thing I don't, I'm able to mask it a little more, where some people with autism are not able to, and that's fine. If somebody wants to stare, they could stare at their own face in the mirror. Yeah. Anyway, not to be mean, but I'm just being sarcastic and truthful. But anyway, it's good to do all the stimming you want when you're at home, when you're in your room, when you're by yourself, because I have to do it. My thing is I've been watching YouTube a lot. I don't know if that's a stim, but it's soothing. This is another thing. It's a sensory stimming kind of thing. I like to hear. I'll watch apartment tours, house tours, where people and realtors put their houses for sale that are on the market on YouTube to sell, and they give you house tours on YouTube, and I watch those all the time. And I like the sound of their feet walking on the floor, on the hardwood floors and the linoleum, all the flooring. It's just something about it. It's like, it's just like, it's real. It's just like relaxing. It's addicting. I get absorbed into it. I like the echo sounds too when they talk, when they take you through the tour. It's just one of those things. And I can get obsessed about things on YouTube too. I've been watching police interrogations. And the psychologist coming out in me. That's one thing I like to figure people out. It could be because I'm so fascinated by the social stuff, because I'm trying to learn it. And it's fascinating because why do people do things they do? It's me trying to understand the world, I guess. The world is so chaotic for me these days. But it's always been. But it's more so as I get older. And I also want to do another video on older age and autism, because I need to bring in awareness. There needs to be more awareness, because to me it's gotten harder. But that's another video. I don't want to have a long video on every video, so. But I think that's all on my stimming. Sometimes I'll just kind of, I used to stand up and dangle my hands like this too. Like, especially when I'm in crowds. It seemed like I did that kind of often. And I didn't realize I was doing it until someone told me, yeah, you do something with your hands. Like, oh. But yeah, I'll just do a lot of hand movements. You know, my hands will be at my side. I can demonstrate it. Okay, I'm standing up, and I'll just kind of like, yeah. Anyway, and I'll say my own favorite phrases. It's just, I don't know, right? I vocalize things. I don't want to say it online. It's kind of embarrassing. It's not that it's bad. It's embarrassing. It's just weird. It's just, to me, it's not weird. It shouldn't be. I don't know. It shouldn't be called weird. But I don't want to offend anybody with autism out there. But yes. To me, it's just one of those things that I keep private. Like I said, it's not bad. It's not perverted. It's not bad. It's just my own favorite phrases I've gotten from people that just make me feel goofy or funny, or it's repeated phrases. Anyway, but I hope y'all understood this, or understood this for help of you to get to know your loved one with autism, or yourself. Anyway, that's all I have to say on this video. God bless, and I hope y'all have a good night, and talk to you later. That's another thing I have a hard time, is knowing when to say bye. What to say when I have to go. That's hard for me. But anyway, I'm gonna grab this phone, and y'all have a good night. Bye.